I just want to make some technical corrections to the language. In the paragraph numbered 1 in the first sentence, the sentence should read, "The council hereby reiterates its commitment to eliminate 1,000 positions and instructs personnel in all departments to eliminate an additional 3,000 position authorities by any means necessary, including layoffs." And that's the technical correction.
Actually, kind of stunned. I think we've gone considerably too far in a direction that I think we'll regret in terms of loss of service.
Call the question.
Okay, Mr. Parks calls for question on the item. Is there objection to that?
Call the question.
What's the figure going to be tomorrow? Let's shoot for 5,000 tomorrow. How about 10,000, 11,000? Let's go. Will you offer, Mr. Smith? Remember, there's no rhyme or reason to what we're doing here. We're talking about 1,000 one day. A week later, the mayor then starts talking about 3,000, and now we jump to up the ante to 4,000. Where's the logic? Where is the benefit? And I think that's unconscionable. It's one thing to talk about 4,000 job cuts. It's another thing to come out of executive session and introduce a motion and try to pass it without having the opportunity to hear from the public what they think about the services that are going to be cut.
You know what, folks? It's not going to get better, and it's not going to get better for many, many years. I have predicted, and some other economists have said, is up to 10 years before we will see this economy rectify itself. 10 years. You can't walk away from layoffs today and think it's going to fix itself, because it is not going to fix itself.
The deficit next year is $485 million.
Correct.
The 4,000 positions generate $260 million for this fiscal year. And for the following fiscal year 12-13, will generate, will generate $400 million. When you look at your deficit at 485, and you're able to reduce it by 260, you still have a remaining gap of 225.
Right.
And so we have to find other mechanisms, whether it's more furloughs, whether it's across the board cuts, to prevent us having to come back with even an additional number of layoffs beyond the 4,000 that is being recommended by this motion.
Is written directing our staff to go out and get rid of about a quarter. New York, how many general fund positions do we have?
We have 12,000 civilian general fund positions.
About a quarter of our staff in one swoop, when council members don't even want to debate it in public. That is unbelievable.
So I think we're all driven by a sense of urgency to get things done. And that urgency is made the greater by the fact that we have failed to take significant action over the course of the last year or so in anticipation of this moment. But for whatever reason, we are here now in this moment and having to act in a significant way. So I think that there's no way that this council is going to avoid significant layoffs and significant reductions. But I think that we also are frustrated, and the public has been a little bit frustrated with us because of our apparent inconsistency. From week to week, we seem to change the direction that we go in. And I have to say, I'm a little bit frustrated that now we are presented with a motion that has not been presented to the Budget and Finance Committee. It has not arisen from a recommendation from the CAO. It has not been vetted or debated in any way. We're going to have to reduce our workforce, and we are going to have to reduce the size of government. We're going to have to reduce the services that this city provides, and we're going to have to focus on our core functions. But there has to be a process involved in getting there. And we've been engaged in a process, and now today we're significantly changing the direction in which we've been going in without a moment's discussion about it. And I want to ask Mr. Santana, you mentioned the criteria by which you were going to identify the 1,000 positions: revenue generating, legal mandates, public safety and health, and so forth. As you sit here, can you tell us whether or not, if that number is 4,000 instead of 1,000, can you still apply those criteria? Can you lay off 4,000 people without affecting public safety, or without affecting our legal mandates, or without affecting revenue generating positions? Can you sit here today and tell us that you can do that?
I think it becomes harder as the number gets bigger. It's going to be harder to avoid these critical areas. I have to add that the crisis that we're facing, this number, whether it's 4,000 or a different number, is such where either we're going to have to do it now or we're going to have to do it later. And so the exercise of identifying 4,000 positions, I think is something that we're better off doing it sooner rather than later.